We have 19 years of experience. This has given us a lot of insight into the market, which straight away our clients get to pick on, right? You pick our brain right away because we've got a lot of experience. We've seen the developers that are delivering. We are able to do due diligence because we've come through a lot of, we've experienced a lot of nuances of the market. Our main focus is beachfront properties, off-plan, which is pre-construction properties, lifestyle. These are the more high-end, more expensive than usual properties, and then the prime urban investments. Okay, so we'll move on to the next. What we stand for, investment focus. Any real estate purchase is an investment. Even if you're not looking to buy to rent, you want to live in yourself, it's still an investment you're making because it's a property you can pass on, resale later, get capital gains on. So we know and understand that it's an investment no matter what you're buying or getting. And so because of that, we make sure that integrity and clarity is at the core of what we do. Integrity, again, especially for people who don't know the market, will tell you exactly as it is. The goal is not to rush you to make a quick sale, but to give you all the information, tell you the pros and cons of each development, and tell you exactly what we know about the development. If the roads are not good, we're not going to try to hide it because you're not here. We will show you videos, we'll tell you how it is, and then we will explain to you the benefits that come with it. Because Ghana is a developing country, there are some areas like the beachfronts, which are about 2 hours away. The investments are beautiful and great, the properties, but the roads, for example, are not good. We wouldn't want you to make an investment not being in Ghana and later come to find out that the road is not good. That, for example, we will let you know. Clarity is very important. We will take you through clearly to make sure you understand all the steps involved, all the nuances involved in investing in real estate in Ghana, so that you're making an informed investment decision. There's nothing more beautiful than making an investment knowing that you've got all the details that you need to know. We don't just sell property, we provide unbiased guidance on your investment journey. Now, I always say that everybody thinks their children are the best, and every developer can only tell you the best things about their property. Because we are not the developers, we are able to step back and take an unbiased perspective and say, we've heard your goals, we've heard your requirements and price range. These are the properties that match it. Let's look at the pros and cons of each one, and then you can take an informed decision. Again, if we are not biased to any property to try to push one over the other, the goal is to make sure that you, the investor, are the one who is receiving all the information to make a good decision. Ghana's tourism and residential market is surging, and that has positively impacted real estate in Ghana. We coined the term, my agency coined the term Ghana is golden, and one of the dictionary definitions for golden fits Ghana perfectly. It says Ghana is wonderful because it's likely to be successful and rewarding, or because it's the best of its kind. And I think most of us would agree, if you've been in Ghana, or when you get to Ghana, if you're not yet to come here, you will agree that Ghana is truly golden. There's a lot of opportunities here. And because we can move on, because of the surge in tourism, lots of people are asking for real estate. Now, this is making the real estate demand go high. And this means that in the next 5 to 10 years, the real estate will appreciate a lot. So, for example, now you may find beachfront lands in some places which are about an hour away from Accra, selling at 50,000 United States dollars. They usually quote in US dollars, but it's payable in Ghana cedis. You will find that as more and more people start to come and say, we want to invest in Ghana, these prices will go up, because I know in the US, for example, beachfront lands are much more expensive. And so anyone who's getting in now is getting in at the prime before Ghana develops. You know how places like Dubai started, Brazil started, Singapore started. We see such a steady stream of people who are ready and willing to make the investments and are making the investments. And we've already started to see the shift and the changes in the market. Since I started in 2006, I've also seen that Ghana's market has evolved and is catering to the sophisticated investor. You have the prime city apartments, you have penthouses, private villas, you have beachfronts, you have some equestrian type, so polo court, where you have apartments, you have golf type properties. So now the sophisticated investor has more of an option to say, hey, this is my type, and Ghana has offered it. When I first started, we didn't have that, and I always look forward to the day that Ghana will have that. So it's pretty exciting to see that. And this will positively impact your investment because a lot of people want to come here, want to move here. So they are renting, they're coming for vacation. So properties are doing well in terms of rentals. All right. So now I will take you through the different types of properties here. And then after I take you through it, we'll go through the due diligence steps. We'll talk about the leasehold system in Ghana, what it takes to purchase a property. I'll pause if there's anybody has any questions or comments, wants me to touch on anything before we go on to this.
No questions.
Okay, great. So we are gonna go into the prime areas. The prime areas are the areas which are the top locations with high demand and consistent returns. Please open it. Now, prime areas are like the Washington, D.C., New York, right? These are the cantonments, Labone, Epon residential area. These are the places where everything is happening. The restaurants, the schools, the banks, they are all there. So most people who want to live in Accra, in the heart of it, are staying in these places. Now we have off-plan properties and ready-built properties. Off-plan is pre-construction. So pre-construction is where the developers, they are yet to start building. They've released the designs, the renderings, the floors, pre-launch pricing. And then most people, the off-plan sell very well. A lot of people love that. One, because they get in at the early bird price. So it gives them opportunity to make much more equity on it than anyone who buys later. They get to choose the best positions. The best positioning for apartments, and you have the best payment terms because you're starting from the beginning. You have about 2.5 years or sometimes even up to 3 years to spread your payments. So a lot of people really like the off plan, and usually once a project is released off plan, it takes about within 6 months, you would have about 80% of it selling out. So off plans sell very well. And then you have the ready builds. Ready builds are those that are ready for those who come in after, the late buyers who say, hey, I want to see the property ready, or someone who's reselling, trying to flip. These properties are ready. You can see it right there. You can see that, okay, this is how it looks. Your risk is reduced because it's a ready property. But usually for these ones, the payment terms are much shorter. They want the payment upfront, or you need to spread it up to later 6 months. So we'll go into the off-plan investment first. Take my one. Okay. Yes. Okay. So these are the prime areas. So these are a selection of some of the properties that are available in Prime Accra. For example, what you see as the Heritage, can you point to our Heritage? Yeah, the Heritage is in Labone. The Crestmont is in East Airport. So East Airport is about 15 minutes away from the airport. Labone is also about 15 minutes away from the airport. You can go between East Airport and Labone within 10 minutes because of the highway. We have the Tower, which is an airport residential area. These are the prime areas where people really want to buy. The Kensington is in Kumasi. I don't know if you've heard of the Ashanti region. Kumasi is the capital of it. And the Kensington is the first high-end apartments coming up there. We've also sold there. So we've added it to the prime area because in the Ashanti region, Kumasi is the capital. The Autograph is in Cantonments, and then the Summit is also an airport residential area. So these are the areas where the price ranges for studios. So studios 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms range from about $90,000 up to $500,000. Studios are usually $90,000 to $120,000. 1 bedrooms are usually $170,000 to $220,000. And then 2 bedrooms start from $250,000 to about $350,000, and 3 bedrooms are from about $350,000 to $500,000. When we are done with this, any of them that you can take your notes, please. If you said I'm interested in this particular one, we will send you particular details so you have more detailed price points. In these areas, rentals do well for both short stays and long stays. Now, short stays, back in the day, most landlords did not want to hear anything about short-term payments, but now they love it because Ghana has become much more like a lot of tourism. People are staying for like 2 weeks to 3 months or sometimes for a month. So people are making more money because the nightly payments are more than the monthly payments. But there are those as well which do well for long term. Usually when there's not so many units, you have the expatriates, like the Europeans, businesses that have multinationals that have businesses in Ghana. They rent in these places for long term, and they prefer to have smaller units, 100 and under, so that they are not dealing with too many people coming in and out. We will start with the Heritage. The Heritage is one of our best sellers. It's located in Laboni. The price range, when it first started, it was starting from, like, the very first one I saw was $50,000 for a 280 square feet studio. So in Ghana, it's 28 square meters. And when you do it by 10, it approximately is 280 square feet. That's when it first started. Now they have the studios, some are 320 square feet or 450 square feet. And now the prices are between $114,000 to $521,000 for 521 for 3-bedroom, 114 for the studio. What is exciting about it is the location. It's a very walkable location. So this image you see there is a rendering. It's not a real image, but the streets and all the buildings you see around it are real. So they just place the image where the construction is going. The first phase, the first block, can you hover over this one? Yeah, the first block, hover over one of the blocks there. Yes, exactly. That will be ready in June next year. They are saying the first quarter of next year, but I always say, like, we need to add a little more to it. They were meant to be ready December this year. Most of the developers, even though they never stop constructing, they are always building, they end up delaying because of logistics. So it's not that the project halted, but it's just like the finishing, putting in windows, testing appliances, electrical. So I would say the first phase will be ready in June 2026. That is next year. And the second phase, which is the other block further down, yes, that is now under construction. I think they're on the first floor now, and that will be ready. They currently say December 2027. I would say put it for June 2028. What is exceptional about this place is that it's a very walkable area. You have about 7 restaurants down that street. Right opposite it is a Mexican restaurant. You have French restaurants, African, Indian. You have Chinese, sushi. The American embassy is 2 minutes away. Schools are right by it. So it's a very walkable place, hair salons, and people love that. People want to be able to just walk out and have what they need right by them. The development itself is an African-inspired development. This they deliberately designed for the diaspora or the Ghanaian living abroad. Can I go on, please? I saw a notification about the video being paused. Oh, hello. I want to make sure that they can. Let me send a message.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
No, I wanted to make sure that the video wasn't paused because I saw a notification that said your video was paused. Are you okay?
Yeah, we're hearing you fine. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
great. Okay, so this modern African luxury, even the facade of it, you can see that there are these Edinkra symbols over there, and they have meaning. One of the one that is like a curvy line, it means that in Chim Chim, it means that you've been around the world, but you found your way back home. We are going to go into it. Please click and let's go into Heritage. So when you look at it, the design, the feel, the finishes is a lot of wood, a lot of greenery. It's celebrating the African culture. This is a rooftop terrace, which will be on the 11th floor. It's a slideshow, so we'll just keep going. But I'll be taking you through. So what you see is like, this is the swimming pool, and you can see that the umbrellas are all straw hats. This is the gym. There's Edinkra symbols throughout. You have an indoor gym and an outdoor gym. This image shows a studio, so lots of wood and more. We will even go and show you a YouTube channel where I've done a walkthrough, and you see that the finishes are exactly what you're seeing here, which is what I love about the developers in Ghana. So here they have between a studio up to 3-bedroom, and you should be able to purchase one. There's availability for it if you are interested. Please, let's go to the YouTube channel and let's look at. So I'm going to show you the YouTube video of the show house. Now this is of the show house is a hybrid type. So the hybrid has two apartments joined. So the studio type and a 1-bedroom have been joined, and they're naming it a hybrid, meaning you can use it separately as a studio and a 1-bedroom, or you can open it up and rent it out as a 2-bedroom. This makes it very versatile for the market, so that if you have people who are in demand for a 2-bedroom, you have it. If you want to use 1-bedroom and lock it off and rent the other whilst you're staying in, you can do that. Or if someone came and said, hey, I want 1-bedroom, and another person said, I want a studio, you even get much more money altogether than renting it. So it's a really unique one. What you see now is me walking through the show house so that you see exactly what the finish looks like. A lot of wood, and yes, that's this development. Each unit has a smart home feature, a smart entrance lock. So anytime anyone enters, you will be able to see it no matter where you are in the world, so that you are managing your rentals better. You can opt in for them to furnish for you with these furniture, and you can opt in for them to manage for you as well. So this is just a general outlook of what it will look like. This is like an actual property and not a rendering. This is the studio side of it. Okay. All right. So we'll move on from here. Anything that you'd like to see, kindly make a note and we will share it to Kofi to share with you. All right. Okay. Now, another exciting thing that we've just launched now, let's go to the beachfront. So even if Kofi may have asked of me another time, I would have said it's not available. But just yesterday, most people say they want beachfront and they want it in the heart of Accra, that video. No, the beachfront video in the heart of Accra, the new one I said. Yes, so most people have said that they want beachfront and they want it in the heart of Accra. And every time we will tell them that we currently don't have beachfront apartments or beachfront residences in Accra because usually the land is too expensive. It's mainly hotels. Now, just yesterday, one of the developers has launched condos that are coming up in Accra. So she's going to play it now. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So yeah, they just launched it yesterday. I don't know if any of you know Sandbox. It's going to be right along the coast in the Labadi area next to Sandbox. And they are going to release sales on Tuesday. And this will sell really fast because the developer already has a lot of clients. They really sell fast as soon as they release. So if any of you are interested in this one, play it again, please. Just keep playing it. If any of you are interested in this one, when they release it on Tuesday, if you let me know, I will send you the details. They are going to have studios from $92,000, 1-bedrooms from $151,000, and they will have 2 and 3 bedrooms and a penthouse, which they are yet to release. I can see this doing very well because we get a lot of requests saying, look, I'm in Accra, I want to stay by the beach, but I don't want to be in a hotel. I want my residence. It wasn't available on the market. This has been a gap, and we are all super excited that one of the top developers in Ghana has just released this. And so please do let Kofi know if any of you are interested in getting details so that you can be given information on immediate availability and still and early bird prices when it's launched. All right. If we can go on, I'll be moving on to another. And let's go back to the Figma. Let's exit. So what we've just seen is prime area where you have the heritage. We'll just look at another type in the prime area and then we'll move on. So for example, we could look at Kumasi, right? Yes, Kumasi is in the Ashanti region. It's an area that also has a lot of people doing businesses there. They have an international airport now, and this development is not far from the airport. It's within the airport city. Their prices are also from 94,000 up to 420,000. Please, let's go ahead. What is different about this is that Kumasi is another place that you have a lot of people doing business, a lot of expats going, but they've not had any sort of high-end development like this. This is the first. And so people are really catching on to it. It promises to do very well with rentals because, again, the expatriates come, they have to go and stay in the hotels. It's the same old hotels. But this one promises to be a breath of fresh air where expats can say, okay, great, I can live in Kumasi comfortably. I can pay my rentals here. And because you don't have competition, anyone who's investing here should do quite well. So this is also in the Kumasi area. If you're interested, please let me know and we will share more details. Let's look at Crestmont. One more and then we can move on. Yes, Crestmont. So they're all different. Crestmont is in East Airport. This is the design. Let's go in there. It's also by one of the top developers. They in the East Airport area as well. There hasn't been too many high rises. They are focusing on a wellness. There's a whole floor dedicated to a wellness spa, this floor. So it's massages, Pilates, gyms, you know, good healthy juices and all of that. So there's a whole floor, and then the visual is lots of glass. You have sea views from where you are. In the horizon, because the beach is not immediate. And this is another property that has just launched that has a lot of potential. Let's go to Autograph. And then we'll move on to the Autograph. I'm sharing this because what is different about this is you can customize the units. So this is the only development that's saying, let's go in. That's saying that you can customize the development. If you want us to change the tiles to a certain color, if you want us to make the design a certain way, Autograph means that you can put your signature. It doesn't have to be cookie cutter, and we can change the apartment. So if this is of interest to you, please note it down. And it's also in Cantonments. The price points are the same from $90,000 studio and up. All right, so we'll move on to another one, which is let's go to the next segment. If there's any questions, please let me know. Let's go to the lifestyle segment. So the lifestyle segment, we can do the off-plan already. The lifestyle segment is the more expensive. So if you're saying, for example, in the Heritage, I want to live in the penthouse. Let's show the penthouse at Heritage. The penthouse is about $1.2 million, $1.4 million, up to $2 million. Let's go into the images. So if you say, look, I'm looking for something very premium in the heart of the city, this is the Heritage penthouse, sorry. And this is how it will look. Sea views, large terraces, modern African luxury. Yeah, and this will be ready. This is the one in phase 1 that will be ready next year. Okay, so let's go back and let's look at other lifestyle options. Okay, well, you also have the Haven. Let's look at the Haven. So the Haven, I don't know if any of you have heard of Trasacco Valley. Trasacco Valley, let's go in. Trasacco Valley is the top desired estate in Ghana. They call it the Beverly Hills of Ghana. You have lots of trees. It's very lovely. You have the video of Trasacco here? Yeah, so she'll show that as well. And within the estate, these developments are available. This one is called the Haven. It's 1.2 million. There's others. People play a lot, right? They have fun with it. You have properties that go up to $3 million that people like say, I want a pool, a basketball, underground basement. As much as you want to do, they have lots of land and they are very premium builders, only using the topmost quality. All right. Now let's go to the ready build in the lifestyle. So we are going to ready build in the lifestyle. So let's go to, oh, you don't have, then we'll have to do okay, let's look. So let's look at the Trasacco Valley, the first one. So this, for example, is one of the houses, which is a private, yes, let's go in. So what we're going to show you now is a ready-built property, which is in the Volta region. Now, again, this is not Greater Accra, but it's a riverfront property, which is selling at $1.2 million. It's 4 bedrooms. It has a swimming pool. It's right by the river. And they've been renting the place out, and they usually rent it for about $2,000 per night. Please go to videos, and I'll show you. It's rented for about $2,000 per night. You have a lot of people who want to do like vacations, staycations, and usually whenever we get requests to book, we can't even get in because it does quite well. It's now on the market at $1.2 million because the sellers have 2 properties and they sold one. Those who bought it, unfortunately, there's been a divorce, so it's had to come back on the market. And we'll be showing it to you shortly. Yeah, scroll down, I'll show it to you. Keep going. It's one of the older videos. Yeah, the one with the boots. Yeah, that one. So yes, So the video will just run through for you to see the type of property. And these are all for lifestyle. Anybody who's looking, saying I'm not necessarily working with a budget. What I want is something that fits the look and feel of what I want when I'm staying in Ghana. Something that I can enjoy myself, that is more like a gift to yourself and something you can share with friends and family. And so it will load so you can take a look at it. Excuse us, the service is a bit slow. Keep you holding. We'll go back to the presentation. Let's go. Okay, so it'll just be a rough through. Let's skip all this part. The main focus is go to the property. So we're gonna skip so you can see the property. It's right by the river. It has 4 bedrooms. It has a swimming pool. Let's go. Let's go back a bit so we can show the front of the property when I was entering, because these ones are. Yeah, they're taking too long here, but yeah. So okay. Again, as you can see, you have the swimming pool, you have the river there, and then it's a 4 or 5 bedroom property. It's a 5-bedroom property. I wanted us to get to the point where you can see the property itself from the outside, but the network is slow. So pardon me, we're going to exit now and go back to the presentation. Let's go to the presentation because the network is slow for this. All right. We'll go now to the waterfront areas. Let's exit, please, and go to the presentation. Can I get the charger now? Let's exit, please, and go to the presentation. Pardon us, we'll be continuing with the presentation soon. Okay, sorry. So the network is a bit slow. Happens here sometimes. So please bear with us as we we pull back the presentation. In the meantime, I would start to talk about the nuances of buying real estate in Ghana. Actually pulls that up. So in Ghana, all property is sold on a leasehold basis, and I explain it. I compare it to royalties. So lands are either owned by the government, by chiefs, or by families. So anytime you're buying property, you want to find out whether it's a government land, a stool land, or a family land. And you know from the documentation that they give to you. Now, for the longest time, anybody who buys property in Ghana, it's given to you on a leasehold basis. It could be 99 years, it could be 50 years, it could be 30 years. So anytime you're buying in any property, you want to know how many years you have remaining on this. Now, what does this mean? The property is for you. You can rent it out, you can resell, you can pass it on as an inheritance, you can break it down and build on it if the land is on your own. But they are saying that whatever lease term you're initially given, let's say if it's 50 years, when it's up, you will need to go back to the head lessor, the people who sold it to you, and say, yes, we've used this for 50 years, we are still interested in taking care of it, and you pay a renewal fee. So I see it as royalties. Even though they've sold it, there's still a way where the government, the family, or the stool is still making some money off the land. Usually, one of the things that we've all been talking about is there's no set figure. It's purely negotiable. So at the time, if, for example, you bought in one of the condos and it has 100 units in it, at the time, you will go, the HOA representative will meet with those who sold the land and said, it's 50 years, we want to renew. They will negotiate. I spoke to a lawyer who said they recently negotiated one for 10% of the value of the land. So, for example, if you're in Accra and the land value is $2 million and they negotiate for 10% renewal, that means it's $200,000. If you are 100 people in the apartment, each person pays $2,000. So when you're in a condo, it takes the pressure off you some more. If you're buying in another area where maybe there are 5 or 20, maybe it's an upcoming area and the land value at the time is $100,000, it could be negotiated much lower, it could be negotiated higher, but it's a purely negotiable thing. However, it is something that lawyers will handle. People cannot go crazy with the pricing because a land valuation will be done to determine the true value, and the headlesses cannot go double 3 times because that would not make sense with the valuation. So when the time is up, the representatives go and meet the owners, and then they say, we are ready to renew. They will prepare a new document to say, we have now extended your lease. Usually they'll give you another 50 years, or sometimes, for example, in one of the developments that I'll show you, the beachfront, that has 80 years. It currently has 80 years lease. Now the developer says, because now I'll come to it, Ghanaians can get as long a lease as is possible. So if the land has 80 years, every Ghanaian can get it. But if you're non-Ghanaian, you can only be given a maximum of 50 years at a time. So what the developer is saying, that because we don't want to feel like Ghanaians are getting 18, non-Ghanaians are getting 50 from the start, they are giving everybody a 50-year lease, and then after the 50-year lease is over, it will automatically roll over to the extra 30 at no extra cost. So every time you're going to buy a development, you want to make sure that you're going to you have a lawyer to review the documentation to prove that whatever the seller is telling you is true. I'll come to you for questions on that if you want more clarity. Now, one of the things we do as your real estate agent is to make sure that you hire a lawyer. We highly recommend it because in our years of experience, we've seen so many issues coming up because people, a lot of buyers assume that they could read the agreement themselves. We find that when lawyers read it, they see so much more. They're able to say, these are red flags, these are yellow flags, these are green flags, and the red flags, they're able to negotiate it to your benefit. Also, when the lawyers come in, we always let them do a search on the land, no matter who the developer says, who the developer is. Even if they've developed 5 times over, land issues in Ghana can be very weird. So we always make sure that the lawyers do a search. They confirm that, yes, this land shows that it's for this developer, or it shows that it's for the person who, yes, it shows that it's for the person who the developer has a joint venture with. Now, for example, we've sold land where there's a seller who owns 7 acres of land. When our buyer was going to buy, of course, we made sure that the search was done on the land. And it was only then, after owning the land for about 10 to 15 years, he was keeping it to do a development, but now he needed money. It was only when our surveyor did the search that he found that only 4 of 7 acres have been registered in his name. And he was really surprised. And this is what we say, that thank God that we make sure our clients, the lawyers, search to confirm, because our clients would have bought the problem. If our client bought it thinking, oh, you own 7 acres, I think I own it, it's only 4 on paper. If someone tried to illegally sell the land, which some people do, and it showed the 3 extra acres as not registered in anyone's name, someone could have sold it illegally. So we made sure that the seller corrected it, the correct site plan was verified again before our clients paid anything. So with us, that's what we always do. Sometimes developers will tell you to pay a reservation fee, and they say pay a reservation fee before we give you a sales agreement. And we say no, we cannot let our clients, because a reservation fee is usually non-refundable, right? How is someone going to pay a non-refundable fee without reviewing the sales and purchase agreement? So we always make sure that the lawyers review, give a clear and say, yes, this is a safe agreement for you to get into before they make any payment. So the first thing is All property in Ghana is sold on a leasehold basis. And then second thing, we always make sure that the lawyers do due diligence to protect your investment. We can't guarantee 100% risk-free investment, but whatever we can do to reduce your risk, we make sure that we do it. So I'll open up for questions about the due diligence, please, on the leasehold, if anyone wanted clarity on it while she works on the presentation.
No questions on the leasehold system right now.
Okay, great. The next thing also, so she's working on the presentation to bring it back. The next thing that I would like to talk about is the transaction support that we offer. So another thing that we've noticed is most of the clients that are not in Ghana, they don't know anyone in Ghana. As I always say, there's no developer who's going to come and say, oh, we are having a problem, so please hold your payments, right? Even when problems come, they are looking forward to receiving your payments to solve their problems. But we, on behalf of the buyer, because we are always here, we usually go by the sites when we know there's a construction, because we keep taking people. When we notice that there's a halt in construction and it's long, we will reach out to the developer. If we find out there's an issue, we will go to our clients. We've done that recently where a developer was putting up something our clients was paying consistently every month. I think it was a standing order. It was just amazing how she was paying. But we noticed there was a halt for a while. So we kept on verifying, and then we reached out to her and said, we think you need to halt the payment until we see that there is much more improvement in the development. We've seen that now they've started to do the roads, there's some movement, but even we've told the client, let's wait a couple more weeks to see how it really picks up before you continue. This is all to safeguard and prevent issues. Again, the developer themselves naturally would not come and tell you that, but having us as your eyes and legs on the ground helps us to be able to guide you and give you all the information. So this is one of the support that we offer to you. You don't need to be Ghanaian to purchase a property here. You don't need to have a resident permit. Most people that have purchased, some of them have not been to Ghana at all. And this is, and one of the reasons is because we give you such a thorough understanding. We will show you the roads. We will tell you how it is. And payments are usually wired. So if you want to, when you say, okay, I saw this property, give me the information, show me the price list, you've chosen it, we will introduce you to the developer, we will introduce you to a lawyer. And then once all that is done and you select, your payment can be wired directly from your account to the developer's account. As a real estate agent, we never take any money for the developer. We only take our agency fees, which is usually 5% of the final sale price. We never take any money for the developer. So most of the time people wire, and then within 3 days, it hits the account. Ghana currently doesn't have a citizenship by investment program. We know that talks are in ways. Next week, for example, I plan to be meeting with the Diaspora Affairs Office, and I want to bring up the topic of, even if people don't have a citizenship by investment, can they get a residence permit if they have made some sort of investment? So these are conversations that are coming up to further enhance the value of making investments in Ghana. So this is mainly it. You don't necessarily, it's not a long process. Usually they don't do due diligence. They don't do any pre-qualification per se, or ask for your payment slip to see your track record or credit score when you're buying property here. Speaking of credit score, more
quick question about the citizenship versus permanent residence. Does it matter at all, and how does it affect anything, your citizenship or permanent residence status?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again? You said the citizenship.
Does your citizenship status matter in these transactions, or how does it actually affect the transaction or your ability to hold the property long term or anything like that?
The main difference in the citizenship is the leasehold, that if there's more than 50 years, you get it all at once, right? If there's no more than, if it's 50 years, you can get up to 50. If it's more than 50, if you're a Ghanaian, you get all of it at once. You don't need to worry about renewing it after the initial 50. If you're non-Ghanaian, you only get 50 at a time.
Okay.
That's
And what if
that's the main
you
difference.
become a citizen? Let's say you purchase it as a non-Ghanaian, not permanent resident or anything like that. You just purchase it as an expat, but then your citizenship status changes, later. Does that affect the leasehold term?
Yeah, you can get your lawyer to go back and negotiate and say that you're now a Ghanaian citizen and you like to negotiate to get the lease. Some people may try to say, okay, them still pay a token because they don't want to lose, right? But basically now it's something that you can go forward and negotiate and say, hey, it also depends on how soon you are to the expiration of the lease. But you can go back to negotiate with a lawyer to say you're now a citizen and so you want to earn the rights.
Okay.
I have one.
We have one more question. Hang on.
Of course.
Land without the development, it has to be a development.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I was just asking about the land and not the development until later, just buying, purchasing the land.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the question was, can you just purchase land and develop it later?
Oh, yes, you definitely can. So the land options, if you say, look, I want land in these areas, these are my price ranges, we can search for you. Again, search, do due diligence. Once you buy land, for example, it's always recommended that you put a wall or a hedge around it and have a caretaker because people encroach on lands. People will just go and they'll just start building on the lands that look bare. So you want to, as soon as you buy land, if you're not ready to build right away, you should have a boundary that is secured and potentially a caretaker. But yes, you can purchase land and then build on it yourself.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Gracie, can we go to the waterfront areas now? Okay. So the waterfront areas, as I said, right now we have a waterfront in Accra, so we're all excited. It just launched. But these are waterfront properties that are coming along the central region. Now, especially in the central region, because that's a coastal region, a lot of the African Americans, you know that since the year of return, we have had hundreds of thousands, maybe close to 1 million, if I may dare say, African Americans coming in, and everybody goes on the central region route. I mean, 90% of them go to the central region to go and see the ancestral slave river, to go and see the castles, the routes, the last bath. And most of them have to go and come back on the same day because there's not enough high quality modern places to stay. I work closely with tour companies like I am with Kofi now, and the tour people say, look, usually we have to go and come and it's a bit of a headache. So right now the developers, Gracie, please go ahead to share your screen. Right now the developers have started to develop properties along this route where tourists can be staying there so that you can say, okay, we are doing a 2.5 hour trip. The trip to Cape Coast is 3.5 to 4 hours. So you can now do a midway stop, rest, have a good time, and then continue on there. So we are going to show you now outskirts. So let's go to outskirts and then be ready to go to the YouTube channel to see the videos. So outskirts is about 2.5 hours away from Accra. They are not high-rise condos. You have single units like a 1-bedroom villa, 2-bedroom villa, 3-bedroom villas. They stand on their own with their own swimming pool, and the prices are from $105,000 with for a 1-bedroom. If you want a swimming pool, it's $120,000. And then you have 2 bedrooms at $240,000, 3 bedrooms at $440,000. Direct beachfront, the roads to get there are not tarred. So the main road to Cape Coast is being constructed. Currently, if it takes you about 3 to 4 hours, I think when the road is done, it should take you 2.5 hours, meaning you even get to outskirts in about an hour and a half. But when you turn to drive down to the beachfront, it's a dirt road of about 15 minutes. You go up a hill with the most beautiful view of a beachfront. And then when you descend, you get to the development. There is a beach in front of you, and behind it is a mountain, which is a Ramsar protected site. By now, she should be showcasing, but she's not. So I'm going to try and pull out. I think I should be able to present my screen. I'm going to try and pull out. Maybe she's having issues. So I'm going to go to my channel to show you the outskirts. Again, Kofi, you can share my channel with the group so that I can share my screen too, right?
You should be able to.
Yeah. Okay. Let me find it and share. Yeah, Gracie, I'm gonna share my screen now. Yeah, and then you can sort yourself out. Share entire screen. Okay. Please let me know when you can see my screen. All right. Can you see my screen, please?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, we should be able to skip this. So what I'm going to show you now is the outskirts beachfront. So as you can see, so these are, they built it. So when you pay for it, when you start to make your payments for it, they start to build. Most of these off plan, as I said, they offer you, why is my, yeah, I don't know why the sound is not coming. Oh, here. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So most of these developments, this one, for example, they take about 8 months to be completed. So you can spread your payments over a year. And I've done about 3 different presentations of this development. This is when it's ready. So this is a 1-bedroom. So you have the living area, the kitchen, open plan, a kitchenette over there. All the windows are full glass windows. The ocean is just like a minute, less than a minute, because it's right in front of the ocean. You have your microwave, your fridge in there. They've already started to rent. 1-bedrooms are rented for $250 a night. Already they are usually booked out, because I even wanted to go and stay there myself. They said that there was no space. And I think to get a property, buy a property at $120,000 and make $250 per night is great. What they do is that they would manage it for you, and you can choose a 70-30 partnership split where you get 70% of the returns and they get 30% for checking people in, checking people out, cleaning, putting in the toiletries. So you don't, this is a totally hands-free investment. They do the management for you. They check people and clean them out, all the little nuances, and then you get your profits, your 70% profit. So you have a lounge pool in front of it. And this is what it's looking like. The whole development is not yet finished, but they've already started to rent. They have a chef, a chef's kitchen, a small kitchen, because the restaurant is not ready. So those who are staying there now are, they order from the menu and it's cooked and then it's delivered to them. But the ocean is there. As you can see, it's sandy, lots of wood, lots of lights, very refreshing. I'm going to try and skip to another part, the 4-bedroom. Yeah. So these are all the features, which is like African inspired baskets and settings. Yeah. And let's see if we'll get to the bathroom soon. The bathroom is quite nice. So this is about currently 2.5 hours away from Accra. What I'm walking through now is a 2-bedroom, which is about $240,000. 1-bedroom is $120,000 with the skylight. So these are how the bathrooms are. You have a skylight, so the sun comes through. It's quite spacious. You have the shower, you have the bath. Now I'm gonna, I hope you've taken this. And again, if you're interested, this is called the outskirts. You can let us know, and we will share the video with you. Yes, this is a 4-bedroom custom one that someone requested, because they had up to 3 bedrooms, but these people requested a custom 4-bedroom, which has lights all around. Oh no, this is a 2-bedroom. Let me go to the 4-bedroom. Yes. The 4-bedroom. This is it here. I want to go to the front of the pool for you to see the layout. Yeah. So these people requested 4-bedroom. They have a much larger pool. The way it's arranged, every room, the living room, kitchen, they all have a direct view of the ocean. It's really lovely. And then I'll go and show you the top. So imagine tourists going all the way to Cape Coast. You can do a stop midway, have a good time. When the restaurant is done, there'll be amenities like gym, spa, wellness area, massage. You can have a good time there and then continue to your trip. So there's a lot of potential to make some good returns on this development. I'm going to go up to the rooftop. So this development has a rooftop, but they've not yet done it, but I wanted you to see the view from up there. They're going to put their cabanas, put some greenery on the ground, maybe a green turf. But the ocean is just really beautiful, very clean. Accra Ocean, some of them have been messed up because there's a lot of littering, but This is such a clean ocean. In the front, you just see the ocean. They have lots of butterflies in this place, which is lovely. And then when you turn around, very soon we'll turn around, you see that it has a very lovely mountain behind, which is a Ramsar protected site, meaning nobody can build there. It will be illegal to build there. So we're going to see the mountain area, and activities will include hiking. So it's called the outskirts. It's just such a really serene and beautiful place. And you can invest in this $150,000 and expect to make $250 a night and split your profit 70-30. So this is it for the outskirts, the ocean front there. I'm going to show you another one. Okay, let me go back to my channel. If there's any questions on this, please let me know. If you are interested, please let me know. So this is another one that is coming up. I just did that videos. These are more like larger villas. So this is in the Gomoa Fete. This one is an hour from Accra, so it's much closer. The roads to this place are really bad. So it's very bumpy, but I mean, once you get there, it's absolutely gorgeous. The development, what they are doing, high quality. So this is the area. Yeah, they have 18 three-bedroom villas with swimming pools that is being constructed between the prices of $370 up to about $550,000. So it's a single level with a rooftop, but you can see that there's 2 golf carts there. Each property is coming with 2 golf carts because parking will be set aside so that within the estate, it's just the golf cart, the electric golf cart, to reduce the carbon footprint. This is your view from the master bedroom. You can see that it's currently being constructed, but you can see that it is exactly what you'll be getting when you wake up. It's terraced and tiered so that everybody can get a view. So it's angled so that it's not being completely and fully blocked by any in front. So every unit has some ocean view from the side. Yeah, so again, this is a video. Share you see the swimming pool, you see the bathroom. The master bedroom will have a walk-in wardrobe, 3 bedrooms. Each pool will have a swimming pool. The kitchen is beautiful. All these developments that I've mentioned come with a fully fitted kitchen. They come with the lights, they come with the air conditioning, but they don't come with the furniture. If you want furniture, you can opt in and they will do it for you. So you're going to see how the living room area will be looking like when it's done. You have an island, you have a terrace, and these are all ocean front. These are for people who say, look, I want to have my holiday getaway in Accra. When it's an hour away from Accra, I want to have my holiday getaway for my family. When I'm not there, they manage it for me and they rent it out for me. Now I'll be showing you another video, which is a hotel resort, which is coming right in front of this one. That hotel is they are focusing on being the top wedding destination in Ghana. And these people are like, when the hotel has a spillover, or when people come and they say, we want a villa, we want to stay in a hotel, but we want villas, then they'll be staying in here, or you can use as residential. It's not a strictly hotel type, and you can decide to opt in. Yes, they are focusing on lots of greenery, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Let me just skip to the rooftop so you see the views from there. Again, this will be, yeah, that's the rooftop there. So very large rooftop. You can imagine how it will look when it's done. There's going to be a bar, cabana. You can host people there, really large. The property is about 5,000 square feet. On the greenery to the side, the developer is looking to put a golf course there. The ocean is right there. So the hotel resort is in front of the villas, and then behind the resort is the villas, but it's literally less than a minute's walk to the ocean. So this is called the 444 residences, and pricing is between $390 to about $450,000. So I'll exit now and go back to the channel. Again, I can share these videos with you. Then I'll show you the other type of investment, which is the hotel one. So this hotel is right in front of the development that we just saw. Again, there are not many modern hotels. Most of the hotels seem outdated, and people are looking for a hotel. And these people say, look, if you want to have a wedding in Ghana, this is where you want to do it, because they're going to have a piazza that is for weddings right at the beachfront here. And then there are about 70 rooms. Some of them are 2-bedroom duplexes. You have penthouses, you have standard bedrooms. It has progressed much more than this because this was much earlier. and you see the ocean right from there. So if you want to invest in a hotel in Ghana, you have this one. The 1-bedroom suites are $150,000. If you want to do a combo of a 2-bedroom suite, it's $280,000. If you want to, so here we're talking about how the tourists are looking for hotels. That's why we show the tourists here. If you want the 2-bedroom villa, it's $400,000. If you want the penthouse, it's $1 million. This is mainly strictly hotel. You are buying a hotel room. You get 14 days free stay as a hotel owner, and it's a profit sharing. So these are how the rooms will look like, so that you don't have to worry about what if my room is not being rented, I don't get anything. It's a profit share. It's all the returns are put together and it's shared proportionately amongst the owners according to the ratio of what you own. So I'm gonna just skip on to the, so I do a little walkthrough. This is a 2-bedroom oceanfront villa, which is $400,000. The ocean is right there. It's a bit rocky right in front of the hotel, but when you walk just 100 meters away, it's all clear. They will have the restaurant, which is like a terrace to host for cocktails after the wedding. They will have a conference room and then a banquet hall for the weddings. So this is another type of investment. We saw the 444, which is behind, which is more for residential, and it can be for the hotel spillover. But if you said, hey, I'm actually interested in this hotel concept, I want to own a hotel room. If I were a tourist in Ghana, I'd be staying in a hotel room. How about I own one? Then the 1111, which is just an hour away from Accra, is a good one. But currently the roads are not good. The good thing, however, if I may say, a good thing is there are a lot of resorts there, and it has not affected patronage. There's the Big Blue Resort, there's Marlins, and they almost always have people there, because usually when people are going on holidays, they're just happy to get to the place. As Ghana develops, we believe that the government will work on the roads, but I always say we can never give you a guaranteed time for when the government will do something. They would fix the roads right in front of them, but they will not be able to do all the roads. So yes, this is it for mainly for the waterfronts. So we'll exit waterfront. Gracie, are you ready to do the upcoming areas now? I'm gonna stop sharing. And if there's any questions in the meantime, please let me know. Let's go to upcoming areas. So the last one is the upcoming areas. We want you to look at the areas that are coming up, right? So for example, currently in cantonments, you have developments that are, let's see if I can do this myself. Currently in cantonments, you have developments that are townhouses that are selling for $650,000, but we are saying that there are areas that are coming up that you can get the same type of property for $275,000 a 4-bedroom, because it's not in the prime area, but it's the same type of property, and you can get capital gains, because you know that initially these areas like cantonments, Laboni, even where my office is, which is called Abelengpe, you didn't have, people would see it as a non-prime area. Now 15, 20 years later, they are all very prime areas. So these upcoming areas are areas that when you invest in, you have the opportunity to get capital gains within 5 to 10 years. Gracie, can you please put it on upcoming areas? Yeah. I would have thought you'd be ready by now because you've had a few minutes. Okay. So please give us a minute while she puts that on. So the upcoming areas, I don't know if any of you have heard of Sambra City. So Sambra City, there's these Annual Leisure. They partnered with some developers in Ghana. They had already started the development, and Sambra came on, and they are building a large community as well. They are saying, look, if you're looking to come back to Ghana, come to this place. There, for example, you have a 4-bedroom townhouse for $275,000. The same townhouse, as I mentioned earlier, in cantonment will be about $650,000. So if you get in now that place, what we love about that place is the roads are very good, even though it's an upcoming area, because a stadium was built there for international games. Because a stadium was built there, the roads are perfectly done. So we see that, and now you have easy access to the main Accra-Tema highway, which is a main connection highway. So from there, when you're exiting, within 5 minutes, you're on the highway, and it gets you to Prime Accra in about 15 minutes. So it's a place that would rapidly develop. So it's a good place to say, okay, I'm comfortable getting into Ghana at this price point, right? And then seeing it rise when it's ready. I'm sure that by the time it's ready, because they've just started construction, by the time it's ready, it will be about 250,000. I think Gracie's having issues again, so I'm going to try and go to my website to see if I can present myself. Sincere apologies for that. So I think this is mainly it. If there's any questions, anything you felt you needed to know on real estate in Ghana, please let me know if I've not touched on it, and I'll be happy to respond to it. And if there's any of the properties that you saw that you want to get more information on, kindly let me know. Yeah, please let me know if you have any questions, because basically we've wrapped up. We've shown you the different categories. I've taken you through the process of investment. I would like to know if there's anything that you would like to know, any questions that you have that I can respond to, and if there are any properties that you want to see.
Any last questions for anybody?
Thank you very much.
I did have one quick question about the realtor fee, your fee. Would that tax on top of the price of the property, or is that incorporated into the property itself?
No, that is not incorporated in the property, because it's not to the developers, to us for the service we are providing to you. So in Ghana, both buyers and sellers pay real estate agents, which is the 5%. So that is for the value we're giving to you. As I mentioned, these are the value that we give to you. The developer is not giving that to you, so it's not included in the property. No.
Okay, I think we're starting to have some connection issues, but we really appreciate you taking the time out.
Sorry about that.
So we're having, yeah, it's okay. We got 95% of it with great quality, so we'll take what we can get. We'll just share your contact information, and thank you.